Hey, welcome back after our technical difficulties there. Make sure when you're recording this, you never touch the mouse. It may stop the recording. Just happened on us, and as we were talking about Psalm 27 today, and we got to verse 10, and I cut you guys off, and apologize about that, but here we are back. But again, we were discussing verse 10, where David recognizes that the frailty of this life will sometimes forsake us, that as humans who are mortal, we are bound to die at some point from this earth to live eternally with Jesus. But when one dies here, you're no longer someone I can go to and seek for comfort and seek for advice and seek for love, except through memories. And David's just recognizing here in this verse that his father and his mother have gone, but God will never forsake him, and that God will in fact take him up, that God will forever be with him, and one day they'll be reunited. Excuse me. So now my hands are away from the board. Hopefully we'll finish this. Verse 11. David crying out to God, not only has he recognized him for his light, his salvation, his protector, but now he's calling out to him to be his teacher. Oh, I'm really getting creepy here. And he cries out to God in verse 11, says, "Teach me your way, O Lord, and lead me in a level path because of my foes." Remember yesterday when we read in verse 12, excuse me, verse 12 of chapter 26, David talking about his foot now stands on a level place. And we talked about that from the slippery slopes of someone pursuing you in the temptations and trials of this life, he now found himself on a place of firm footing. And now he's crying out to God, said, "Teach me, God, and lead me on that level path, that I may stay on that path. You may light that path. You may encourage me to take those steps that will keep me from temptations and trials." So David recognizing not only God as the God of salvation, the God of eternal promise, the God of protection, but also the God who can teach us and give us peace and joy in our walk here. Verse 12, "Do not deliver me over to the desire of my adversaries, for false witnesses have risen against me, and such as breathe out violence." Again, David's just crying to God for help. Don't let me fall into the trap of these people that's saying all these things about me. Verse 13, "I would have despaired unless I had believed that I would see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living." All this stuff that the world has poured on me, that enemies have slung at me, the criticisms that people send me, they would cause me to despair if I had not believed that I will inevitably see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. The land of the living being the throne room of God in heaven, in the presence of God, in the presence of the saints who have gone before me or who will go with me, in the presence of our God Almighty and His chorus of angels. I have that hope, and so whatever it is that piles up on this earth can never beat me completely down because of that hope that I have in Him. There's no need for despair when I have that hope. Now, there will be seasons of grief. There will be seasons of darkness. But I can look to the light and see that God has something beyond that season for an eternity for me. Finally, then, David ends up with this great verse that says, "Wait for the Lord. Be strong and let your heart take courage. Yes, wait for the Lord." Similar language to what Moses gave in the advice he gave Joshua before Joshua was to lead the nation of Israel into the promised land. He told him to be strong and be courageous. We have to too, as we wait for the Lord's hand, as we follow the Lord. This is really, this is not so much about sitting motionless, waiting for the God. It's about waiting to see what God does every day and following that. Taking the motions of our life in a path that follow God. Look where God's working around you and go to that. And take heart, be strong, be courageous. Take the step to go to that and see where God will lead you and how He will strengthen you, how He will encourage you day to day by following Him. Great psalm. I thank David so much. I thank God for His guidance of the words of David, because they bring us so much hope. So many good lessons here. Pray to God, thanking Him for who He is. Pray to God, thanking Him for the hope that He gives us. Pray to God, asking Him for the lessons, the teachings, the leading, the light that He will give us. And then in all of that, watch for where God's working and be strong and courageous enough to go follow Him. I hope you guys get these two pieces put together today. Have a great day, and tomorrow we'll be in Psalm 28, 9 beautiful verses. See you guys then. Grab some coffee. I think I might grab a coffee. See you tomorrow. Bye.